Ricciardo was surrounded by mystery and momentum moving into the F1 2024 season, as he began a season with Red Bull's renamed Junior Team, which is viewed as an audition for a return to the senior squad in 2025. However, that audition has not gone well. Helmut Marko has previously issued a mild warning to Daniel Ricciardo following 2 Grand Prix. The 34-year-old Australian failed to impress in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, according to the Red Bull racing consultant, and must come up with something soon. Tsunoda qualified a 10th faster than Ricciardo and got team orders the next day, finishing second. A week later, the Japanese was again quicker than his partner on Friday, and by a significant margin. Tsunoda qualified 9th, while Ricciardo had to settle for 14th. In the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, Tsunoda finished 14th and Ricciardo 16th. Jones, who won the World Championship in 1980, believes Ricciardo is no longer at his peak as a racing driver, as the RB driver seeks his first points of 2024 after a difficult race in Saudi Arabia, in which he struggled to get involved in midfield action, though a slow pit stop didn't help his efforts. I think Ricciardo would even agree with that, Jones told the Herald Sun in regards to Ricciardo needing to improve. Bad luck, or otherwise, I'm sure Daniel would like to have had better results than what he has had. At the end of the day, we can't be blaming the car all the time, which has been a bit of a tendency in the past. I would love to see Daniel go extremely well in Melbourne. I would like to see Daniel go extremely well, period. Ricciardo is now creating a weak impression. Instead of leading the Italian squad, Daniel appears to be returning to his McLaren form, severely out of shape and just too slow. After being released by McLaren before the end of his 3-year contract, Ricciardo spent the majority of 2023 observing the sport from the sidelines, enjoying a break from the demanding nature of being an F1 driver. Ricciardo, who serves as a reserve driver for Red Bull's 2 teams, was given the opportunity to drive the Red Bull RB19 in a Pirelli tire test at Silverstone, and his performance was enough to lead Red Bull to withdraw the underperforming Nick de Vries from AlphaTauri and offer Ricciardo the seat. However, the Australian only raced a few times between then and the end of the season due to a hand injury sustained in an accident at Zandvoort, which kept him out for 5 rounds. As a result, Daniel didn't get a good run at things until this year, when he was awarded a full-time racing seat with RB, previously AlphaTauri, and participated in the whole pre-season. But the first 2 races have shown that not much has changed for Ricciardo, who has battled to keep up with Yuki Tsunoda. Differing strategy got Ricciardo into Tsunoda's range in Bahrain, but if not for team directives, he would have finished behind the Japanese driver. In Saudi Arabia, Ricciardo struggled in the rear of the pack, aided by a very sluggish pit stop, before spinning out on his own at Turn 1 in the final stages. As a result, the pressure is already building on the popular Australian as he prepares for his home race in Melbourne. Does he still possess the skills that made him such a feared adversary a few years ago? Former McLaren technician Mark Priestley feels Ricciardo's time is running out, and 2024 may be his final opportunity. Daniel Ricciardo, at the other end of his career, he's getting a hurry up from Helmut Marko, Priestley said on his own YouTube channel ahead of the Australian Grand Prix. He's getting the world starting to talk about him in terms of questioning him. Is he really what everyone thought he was? Is it the excitement we thought it was going to be when he came back into the sport? Actually, he's not beating his teammate consistently enough, and that is the very first step to becoming a legendary driver in Formula One. You have to beat your teammate. He's not doing that enough, and I think with young drivers poking their heads up and saying, "Look at me, Daniel Ricciardo has got time running out on his Formula One career." It's a shame because I think he's a great guy, a great character in the sport, and has been a great driver, but he seems to have made some poor decisions that have cost him dearly over the course of the last few years. And I wonder if we might be seeing the last of him in 2024. Last season, everybody was expecting Daniel to become a part of the bigger team at Red Bull with his old teammate Max Verstappen. Sergio Perez received the same question every week for a year. Was he terrified of losing his place at Red Bull Racing? Just 2 races into the 2024 season, and the doubts have subsided. What do you think? Will Daniel Ricciardo prove us wrong? Or is he getting slowly out of the F1? Please let us know in the comments down below.